Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. It is now July 3rd. We are one day away from July 4th, Independence Day. I hope you realize what that day actually means. And it is not just a day to go get drunk and drive around and knock over light poles like what happens in my town, unfortunately. Um, I'm not joking. That's what happens out here. But I hope that everyone remembers what was fought for, what was bled for, and if you will do that and you will take time to actually research that, you will see that a lot of this stuff that's happening in our government now is anti-constitutional. And I actually am grateful for a Supreme Court that is going back and it is removing the federal government's intrusions into the states' right to legislate themselves and to govern themselves, which is what happened with Roe versus Wade when it was overturned. It took that away from the federal government and it put it in the hands of the state. And the federal government, in my opinion, they have overstepped in a lot of different directions. But all we can do is try to vote the right people in office. And I think with our past president term, I think that we had some of the right people in office. Whether you fully agreed with them or not, you're not going to agree 100% on everything that anyone says because we're all human. We're not all going, none of us are going to be perfect, I should say. But it is nice to actually see that we have a Supreme Court that is currently looking at things from a true constitutional level. And understand the Constitution is not there so you have a right to abort. The Constitution is there to protect the state's right to govern themselves. So if you live in a state and you disagree with not just abortion laws, but any laws, you have a right to one, protest. You have a right to be able to voice your opinion on that. You also have the right to begin making petitions and things to try and get lawmakers to change the laws to better suit the people that are in that state as well. So what you don't want is people in Alabama deciding for Florida or Florida deciding for California or whatever it is. We have our leaders in our state. If you don't like the laws of our state, then it's time to find a state that lines up better with your views or start your own petitions and things. But don't be surprised when you're kind of met with opposition, because when you come out and you set up a protest for something, and then there's another group that doesn't agree with what you're protesting for or against, they will set their own up. And that's fine. But what you don't do is get into a violent situation, which is what seems to happen in this country now. Unfortunately, it turns into riots and all this crazy stuff. And that's not the way we are supposed to act as Americans, guys. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day out here. We have a lot of stuff going on here. Our garden, I haven't had to water that the last several days because of the rain we've been having, and it's really been helping it out. We had a lot more sun yesterday than we have in the last 3 or 4 days, and those plants really kicked into overdrive and have gotten quite a bit larger. I'm seeing a lot of new fruits starting to develop. So that's a really good sign. That's a really good thing to have going on from a sustainability program when you are trying to basically cut back on how much you're having to spend on food. And talking about food costs and stuff, I have a nephew who lives out in Oklahoma. Well, I actually have two nephews and a niece who live in Oklahoma, but one of them works at a rather large grocery store. I'm not going to give the names of it and things like that, but he was talking to me last night. We was up till probably almost 2 o'clock in the morning discussing the prices, because I can remember talking to him at the beginning of the year and really stressing the importance of need to get you some gardens going on, some sustainability programs going. And him being younger, I'm sure he was kind of like, yeah, whatever. Well, last night when we were talking, he was like, I had no idea the prices were going to go this high. And he was talking about some of the prices that they're seeing there. I mean, you're looking at, close to $6 for milk. You're looking at, $4 to $5 for a carton of eggs, and produce and stuff that's there. He said they have actually rather good produce that's there because a lot of it is locally grown, but the pricing of it is so high, and he couldn't understand why the price was so high compared to what it used to be. Well, that's because those fertilizer costs have went up. Understand when you're doing a small garden at your home, you might can get by with 40 pounds of fertilizer, and that could carry you through the year easily, depending on what type of soil content you have. But if you are doing a actual farm and you're looking at metric tons of food, you're looking at needing metric tons of fertilizer as well. And with those costs going up, and Snake Island, which is the main hub for moving fertilizers and grains and stuff over into Ukraine and through the Black Sea and stuff. That was actually just hit with phosphorus bombs by Russia, unfortunately. They said they were pulling back so that they could you know, stop making these prices so high. And it was supposed to help the world. As they pulled back, they went and they bombed Snake Island, which is what was the central hub for a lot of those types of exports and stuff. So there you go, guys. That's the true intent of Putin and what the way he looks at the world. Doesn't care. This is a lot of what he had planned, I'm sure. But without getting too much into that, be praying for the people of Ukraine, but be praying for the people in all of our countries as well, Africa and stuff, because one of the things that we're seeing coming out of the United Nations World Food Program is that they're saying a lot of these areas that was already struggling with food, have been struggling with food, are basically going to have high death tolls now because of the onslaught of famines that are coming in, guys. I apologize if I'm kind of slurring some words today. I am freaking tired, man. I'm getting too old to be staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning talking on the phone. And then after that, you got to get up early, do your chickens and your quail and take the dog out and stuff like that. It was, I think, getting up about 3.5 hours of sleep last night before it was time to get back at it. So I will be going to bed early tonight. We're trying to go to bed early tonight. I'm sure right at midnight we're going to have the local fireworks show start. And what the local fireworks show is everybody that lives in this neighborhood starts firing off fireworks about 3 days before the 4th actually gets here. And you think, okay, well then on the 4th they'll finish up. No, that's not the case. They have a pretty good display on the 4th around here, which is nice. And these are just people using fireworks in their backyards. So it's kind of nice that you don't have to go into town and deal with the craziness that's out there right now. But this is going to continue on probably for a week and a half or so. When it comes to New Year's or the 4th, that's when the fireworks start coming out around here. And you can go ahead and plan for a week or two that you're not going to get to bed until about 3 o'clock in the morning because people are up celebrating with their families. And regardless of how you feel about that, they're spending time with their families. And I think that that is a great thing. Where I don't really agree with some stuff, unfortunately, in this area is most people, they all get drunk and then start driving around. We have a lot of accidents. Some videos that I was trying to work on yesterday, I'm having to go back through those because there were so many sirens from ambulance and fire trucks last night because people were riding around. We were getting a lot of power outages and stuff because people were hitting light poles and stuff as well. So there's nothing wrong if you're going to go drink and stuff like that. Make sure you have a designated driver, guys. Keep yourself safe so your family is not mourning on a holiday such as Independence Day. Now, for those who have a misconception of what the 4th of July is to celebrate, we'll post up a photo here. Here's why we celebrate the 4th of July, guys, in this country. Okay, so that is not why we celebrate the 4th, but I want to throw that in, keep it kind of light today, guys. But I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. If you haven't had a chance to get over to our members area, you can do that from the main Ultimate S&S YouTube channel page. It's going to have an area where you can see the memberships that are offered, and that's going to get you in where you can watch a lot of these different types of videos we're now making. We will release some bonus reels over to the main part of the channel as well, but understand that those are not going to be as in-depth. That's just showing some of the stuff that we are covering over in there. So if that's something that interests you, would love to see you over there in the members channel. And like I say, a lot of the stuff that's going to be over there is going to be controversial from a political stance or even from a lot of people's social stance of stuff, but we are taking it from a biblical narrative, and that is the way that we're going. That is the way that I believe. And there is a lot of our subscribers and our members and stuff who are really wanting to get more information about basically what the truth of the history of our world is. So we are looking at that from different perspectives. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. When it comes right down to it, if you do nothing else this weekend, spend time with your family. If you don't have a family, and I understand that there's a lot of people that maybe you're an elderly generation and you don't have any family left, or maybe you're young and all of your family has moved on and you can't get near them and stuff, make a simple phone call, shoot them an email, something like that. But the main thing is, if you're feeling lonely or whatever, do not allow for deceptions to set into your mind. You were never alone. Simply sit back. You can pray. You are welcome to come in and watch videos all you want on YouTube, man. They have everything you can think of. If you want faith-based, if you want just pure crazy humor, you can find it on YouTube. You can find all kinds of stuff on here, guys. But watch what you're looking at. Do not let depression win is the main thing, guys. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I am going to get off of here.